It was a lot windy. It's still a lot windy for some of us, kind of depending on where you are. But right here, as we take a look at the Santa Monica Pier, it's always a great way to tell if it's windy out there or not. And you'll see the flags blowing in the wind. So, yep, it is windy at the moment. As we get a look at the rest of our forecast right here, you will see satellite radar showing you high pressure building across Southern California. So that is actually coming with wind, offshore winds for the next couple of days. We've got wind advisories and high wind warnings currently in effect through tomorrow. You'll see wind advisories in effect through 12 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and those high wind warnings remaining in effect as well through tomorrow for our local mountains. We also have a beach hazard statement through the evening hours. We're looking at elevated surf along west facing beaches. So let's talk temperatures. 74 earlier today in downtown. So we were above average, but no longer looking at record breaking heat like we were last week. Temperatures bottoming out in the 50s tonight. Currently, we're in the 50s and 60s with breezy to windy conditions. We're going to take you through your wind future cast a little later in the hour. So stick around for that. As we get a look at lows tonight, mostly looking at 40s and 50s, and highs tomorrow in the 70s and the 80s. As we get a look at surface analysis right here, you'll see low pressure starting to inch in, and then high pressure right behind it a little later in the week. So let's get right to the 7-day right here, and you will see as we head into the next few days, we are expecting to see temperatures level out. Wind starting to die down a little bit as we head into the next few days as well. Let's get a look at my 7-day forecast. And as we do, you will see right here, temperatures mostly in the 70s and the 80s. As we head into the next few days, keeping it dry by the end of the weekend, looking at another chance of rain. More on that coming up in a little bit, but for now, back to you.
Sobering report too. My gosh. Oh. Oh, welcome.
I know.
Welcome back. I know. It's just so sad to think about.
Evelyn,
I'm going.
you're still
I know, I'm
thinking
thinking about it. And
2050.
It's, yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
30 years from now.
Right?
Jeez.
Meantime, we can enjoy our great weather, huh?
Exactly.
Even our windy weather we can enjoy.
Even our windy weather, we can enjoy, you guys. So
people who don't suffer from allergies, right?
Right.
Yeah, I know a lot of people suffering allergies right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the time, guys.
Stuff's blowing around.
Stuff is blowing around, let me tell you, and it's going to continue to blow around as we head into tomorrow. We've got wind advisories and wind warnings. We've got the flags blown in the wind behind us. And here we have it, wind advisories and warnings staying in effect across pretty much the majority of the Southland through tomorrow afternoon. As we get a look at those wind gusts right here, you'll see 23-mile-per-hour wind speeds for Ontario, 21 for Big Bear, 23 miles per hour for LAX. And as we check out our future cast right here, you'll see 24-mile-per-hour winds coming in through Van Nuys, downtown, Temecula, Palm Springs. That's going to be in a matter of a couple of hours here and continuing to stay windy through first thing tomorrow morning. And then as we carry on through later in the day, you'll see by 2:30, things getting a little calmer, and by 5 o'clock, a little calmer all around. 74 earlier today in downtown. So that was above average, but below record numbers being 87. And as we check out temperatures across the Southland right now, we're mostly in the 50s and 60s. Temperatures tonight dipping down into the 50s, so mild. And by tomorrow afternoon, we are up to the 70s and the 80s. So high pressure continuing to build in. Eventually low pressure drops in behind it. We could maybe, just maybe, see a chance of rain as we head into the weekend. Let's get a look at my 7-day forecast right here. For the beaches, basin, and the valleys, we are in the 80s, turning to the 70s. And then eventually, by the time we hit the weekend, a little cooler, a little cloudier, and a chance of showers by Sunday. And for the IE, the high desert, and the mountains, we are also looking at 70s in the forecast, getting into the 60s, and eventually a chance of showers by Sunday. Susie Wan, back to you. The wind is the word tonight through tomorrow, you guys. And as we get a look at the Santa Monica Pier, that's always a great sign of if it's windy or not. So the answer is windy. Flags blowing in the wind, camera blowing in the wind. We've got watches and warnings up across the entire Southland. In fact, wind advisories and warnings lasting through tomorrow. Let's get a look at our wind gusts right here. You'll see 23-mile-per-hour winds for Ontario, 21 San Bernardino, 20 miles per hour for Big Bear, and 26 miles per hour for Palm Springs. That's right now. These are some of our more significant wind gusts. And overnight, we're going to continue to see windy conditions. Double-digit wind speeds expected. You'll see that right there, 24 miles per hour for Van Nuys, 9 for downtown, and then continuing to see pretty breezy conditions by late morning into the afternoon. It's later in the afternoon where we are expecting the wind conditions to let up a little bit for us. So once we get there, we will see calmer conditions and eventually cooler conditions later in the week. 74 earlier today in downtown, so we were above average, below record numbers. As we get a look at the numbers this evening, we're currently in the 50s and 60s. We're going to get down to the 50s mostly tonight and 40s, and by tomorrow we are up to the 80s and 70s. Another warm day, still very much above average as high pressure holds strong. For the beaches, basin, and the valleys, we are in the 70s and 80s, getting cooler by the end of the week. Chance of rain by Sunday. And for the IE, the high desert and the mountains, warm for now, and then eventually a significant temperature drop by Saturday. Chance of showers Sunday. Back to you guys.
I can't tell whether it's cold or not cold because the wind is blowing
Yeah, it
so
really
hard.
does amp it up, doesn't it?
Look at
Oh
that.
man, it takes it to the next level.
Yeah, indeed.
There we have it. Wind. Yep, it's cold.
It's cold?
I mean,
okay.
it's
Cold
chilly. It's not cold because it's an offshore warm wind, so
Okay.
temperatures are technically warm. We were in the 70s,
Right.
but it is chilly, especially tonight. I mean, it's like in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, if you feel a chill, you're
Yeah.
not sick.
Yeah, and chilly for us,
All
right?
Yeah. Chilly, exactly. For us, it's
For us.
Two operative words there. All right, you guys, we've got wind advisories and wind warnings in effect through tomorrow. You'll see that across pretty much the majority of the Southland. Wind gusts right now particularly strong in the desert and in the mountains. 20-mile-per-hour wind gusts right now for Big Bear, 26 miles per hour as we head to Palm Springs, 30 for San Bernardino, and 23 miles per hour for Ontario. So as we check out our futurecast here, you'll see double-digit wind speeds from Van Nuys to Santa Ana through Riverside by tomorrow morning. Continuing on a little later in the day, wind speeds starting to die down a little bit by the late afternoon, and advisories and warnings start to expire as winds start to calm down. Earlier today, we made it to 74 in downtown. So we were above average for this time of year. And as we get a look at temperatures, we are currently in the 60s and the 50s, 59 Van Nuys, 60 as we head to Burbank, 60 for Fullerton, moving to Temecula, 50 degrees. And temperatures tonight, mostly in the 50s. So it's going to be a mild, cool to mild night, if you will. So as we get a look at temperatures for tomorrow, you will see 80 degrees for downtown, 80 for Burbank. As we move to Ontario, 80 degrees, San Bernardino, 78, 77 for Temecula. And as we get a look at our surface analysis map here, you will see low pressure moving off, high pressure hanging out for the next couple of days, bringing warmer temperatures, and then low pressure following right behind it. As it does, you'll see right here warmer temperatures along the way as we head into the weekend here. My 7-day forecast showing you numbers getting cooler as we head toward the end of the week. And by the weekend, cloudier and a chance of rain by Sunday. And same thing goes as we check in with the Inland Empire, the high desert, and the mountains. Back to you guys.